All right, so today in science, we are going to do an investigation on separating mixtures. We're trying to determine whether our substances that we have in front of us is a mixture or a solution. So we have gravel, we have powder, and we have salt. Now to save time, I've already filled my containers up with 1 scoop of each mixture. There's a scoop of gravel, a scoop of powder, and a scoop of salt in each one. Then I've taken just regular tap water that's cold and filled this up to 50 milliliters and added it to each one of our cups, stirring to make sure that we have our mixtures dissolved. Now, in order to determine if it's a mixture or a solution, the best way to do it, and one of the ways I should say, is to filter. So I've got a screen here, I've got my cup. We're gonna take our first mixture, which is gravel. Now when I think of gravel, I think about mining out in the old West. We're gonna take our filter and we're gonna dump our rocks right through our screen. Now, by doing this, we'll let it drip for a little bit there. We can already see that we have our gravel on the top and plain water on the bottom. This is a pretty good indication this is a mixture. So we have our sheets, we have our papers here. We're gonna write this down. We're gonna check this off. Gravel, did it filter through the screen? Sure did. So we're gonna check that off on the box. Now, just to make sure, I'm gonna add my gravel, using my spoon here, back into my cup. And we are gonna try this again. This time we're gonna filter it through a coffee filter. So, I've got my gravel mixture here again. I'm gonna dump it through. I can see that it's going through. Now, as it's finishing going, I've got plain water on the bottom. And what do I have? I've got my gravel all into my filter. Now I want to save this because in science, we have to remember that sometimes scientists don't always get their answers right away. So we're going to observe these things. So I'm going to take this gravel filter and I'm going to put it over here in my tray. We have marked gravel. Now my last one is, I'm still not sure. I've got my gravel pieces. I'm going to do one other way. I'm going to put a new filter into my cup and I am going to dump this through again. And this time, I'm gonna put my filter over here. This tray is my evaporation tray. Now, for this one, both of them are gonna probably do the exact same thing, but hey, we're scientists, we gotta figure this out. So we're gonna put it right over here into our gravel tray. We did gravel, perfect. Next up is our powder. Get a new screen. Stuff over here, got my cup, got my screen. Now this powder, to me, this is gonna be pretty tricky because I can see that my powder, when I stir it up, it makes the water all cloudy. But when I stir it, it kind of feels gritty. Let's just see. I'm gonna dump it through my screen. Ooh, oh, I got some residue on the top and there's still some in the cup. Okay, so is this a mixture? I would say yeah, because it's still on the top of my screen, but because my screen holes are so big, a lot of that mixture ran right into my water. So let's check this off. Powder on the screen, yes. But let's run it now through the filter. I'm gonna take my spoon again, I'm gonna shake it up, stir it up here. Now, I'm going to add a new cup down here. Hope that I hit. And dump it through my filter. Ooh. It's taking its time. I can see that it's going through. It's kind of like coffee, but I can tell you a lot of that is still on the top, and it's slowly dripping through. So we got to determine whether or not, is this a mixture? Is this a solution? I see a lot of it on the filter. Still sort of up in the air. As scientists, again, we have to observe. We have to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to take this. I've got a lot of it on there as it's going through. I'm going to put this on my tray to observe. And then we're going to do the same thing with our salt. The salt, we're going to take it through. We're going to screen it. We're then going to put it through our filter, and we're going to observe it. This will determine whether or not we have mixtures or solutions. So this is going to be a process over the next couple of days. We're going to keep coming back to this. We're going to keep marking our checklist, and we're going to still study whether we have mixtures or if we have solutions.